Jeez, I forgot my tinfoil hat. This has been a plan, right? They got to torpedo Trump somehow. Because the next thing you're going to hear, and I would guess it's going to be pretty quick, a president who is under impeachment, he can't appoint a Supreme Court justice. You just wait. But anyway, this is the tax return thing. Apparently New York State or New York City wants Trump's tax returns for some reason. And Trump is, fighting back because that's a big part of Trump. I think that's a big part of why more and more people every day support this guy for 2020. He doesn't just lay down. He's going to step up. He's like, oh, you want my tax returns? Fuck you. Take me to court. And of course they do every single time. Now they keep referencing, oh, he made a promise. He's going to release his tax returns. You know, what's amazing to me is the revelation that Donald J. Trump is the first politician to lie during his campaign. It's absolutely fucking amazing. But now that their guy isn't in there, or their gal, Queen Bee Hillary, oh, no, it's a fucking federal crime. Impeach him. He needs to be thrown in jail. Where are we going to put all the Trump officials, as the chick out of Michigan said? Where are we going to put them all? We just don't have the room because they're all going to go to jail. Blah, 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 blah. There was an injunction or an overturning or some whatever. I'm not a freaking lawyer, but some judge said, yeah, New York, you can get Trump's tax returns. And then there was an injunction later by another judge. No. So it's in the courts, right? Somebody in New York wants Donald Trump's tax returns. Now, I find that interesting because New York has Donald Trump's fucking tax returns. President Trump has been a resident of New York his entire fucking life, meaning there are decades of tax returns. What we are to believe, my friends, is that not once in the last 40 whatever years that Donald Trump has been active as a businessman, not once did the state of New York look into his taxes. They didn't audit him. They didn't fine him for doing some illegal shit with Russia and Ukraine and China. Not once did they bother. We're just not even going to look. Really? I checked a box incorrectly on my federal tax return, and guess who was crawling up my ass? It's not that I lied. I just checked the wrong box. I get a letter. You're coming into our office in Denver, and you got to explain why you checked this box. I'm like, what? And that's not a lie. That actually happened. So you are to tell me, you Democratic, commie, ignorant people, I'm not saying stupid, I'm not saying dumb, ignorant, in your fantasy world, somehow this evil, criminal thug, Donald J. Trump, when he was a businessman in New York, nobody bothered looking at his tax returns. No, he's clean as a whistle. Now, do we believe nobody wanted to look into it, or they did, and they found nothing against the law? Which of those two seem more plausible to you? Back at you, he's got my helicopter, I got my buildings here. He was a jerk. Do you think somebody in New York might want to bring him down a notch or two? So let's just go with choice number 2. They intensively and every fucking year went through every line of his tax return. And of course, for people who actually pay taxes and have a state income tax, the state gets the federal return too. I know. It's probably amazing to people who have never actually paid taxes or filled out a 1040 form. Now, I'm not saying you don't pay taxes, although I am, but some people, the rich, the elites, those people who know so much better, they hand it off to their accountant and they fill out the taxes and they just sign it. It's like, okay, yeah, you're good. So let's now go up another level. So we've got New York State, who obviously dug through Donald Trump's taxes with a fine-tooth fucking comb. Now we have this guy in New York City, I guess, and the entire Democratic Party, they're throwing shade on the IRS. Do they believe the IRS is incompetent? That they wouldn't be looking through Donald Trump's tax returns? Very prominent, one percenter or even higher with his wealth and his business. Do you think it's a possibility that the IRS said, we're not going to look at Donald Trump's tax returns, but we're going to look at hamsters because he checked the box wrong? Or what a more reasonable thing, they crawled through his ass with a microscope and they didn't find jack shit. After all, Donald Trump, being a very wealthy guy, apparently, he can pay the best and the brightest and the most bigly lawyers to take care of this shit. Do you think Donald Trump fills out his fucking taxes? Seriously, do you actually believe that? Are you that incompetent as a human being? Well, you vote for Democrats, so yeah, you are. And thirdly, I was reading a story on Yahoo. There were so many comments. Oh yeah, release his tax returns. Now we'll know how much Donald Trump didn't make. He's lying and all this shit. For you folks overseas, you do not list your assets on your tax return in the United States. Perhaps it's that way in your country, not here. You list your income, you list your deductions, you list your, whatever interest you got from your whatever, blah, 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 and then you write a check, as Donald Trump did, for $38 million in 2005. How are we going to find out how much Donald Trump is worth if that information is not included on his tax return? I'm asking the question because these people are so fucking delusional. They believe in the wage gap. They believe that machine guns are being sold at Walmart to children easier than getting Sudafed. They believe that every rifle who is a semi-automatic rifle is a fucking machine gun, and they ought to be banned. They believe we live in a rape culture. They believe we live in a patriarchy. So is it really much of a stretch that they don't even know what the fuck goes on a tax form in the United States? I'll try to put a few links below so you can get a flavor for what's going on. It's a witch hunt. They are going to take shit and throw it out. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It doesn't matter a week after they say it. It's proven to be bullshit. They never report that. They must get rid of this guy because they will not trust Americans, voters and stuff, to vote their way. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.